Okay, let's see what they're talking about. Let's see what Sean Hannity and fucking John Fetterman are talking about on their weekly call, like on their weekly one-on-one, like he's his manager at like a startup. They should put John Fetterman on a performance improvement plan, like a brain performance improvement plan.
With reaction, Pennsylvania Democratic Senator John Fetterman. I think I know you pretty well. I don't think you want to abolish the police. I don't think you want to abolish prisons. I don't think you want to take away people's homes. I don't think you want Democrats seizing the means of production. I don't think you want criminals that commit rape and murder that are here.
Can he speak for himself, or is he just totally fucking nonverbal now? Like, damn, I thought he was going to stop talking at some point, but they got to really prime John Fetterman for these interviews. But I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't say a single word. He just nods along at this point, and Hannity just like lists all the things that he wants him to agree with. He just seems entirely nonverbal now. Like, why can't he tell me what he supports? Like, is he not the senator? Is he not the interviewee? Like, what's going on?
Legally not deported. Am I wrong?
No.
Oh, well, of course, Sean. And now the ones that difference between me and other Democrats, you know, we're a Democrat that's willing to call out these.
We're a Democrat that's willing to call out. We're a Democrat. He's talking like Venom now. Gosh.
Well, of course, Sean. And now the ones that difference between me and other Democrats, you know, we're a Democrat that's willing to call out these individuals and some of the absurd things that they have said and the kinds of beliefs they are. You know, the one thing that absolutely is in common, just contempt for Israel, that essentially is becoming just rank anti-Semitism. The individual that just won in Colorado, she refused to describe the situation where someone firebombed a group of Jews that was just rallying for the Israeli hostages at that time and killed a woman. She refused to even address that. Is that anti-Semitic? So this is the point. And now there's that strong correlation. Anti-Israel, drifting into anti-Semitism, very, very intensely anti-American. And now just here, that individual also believes America deserved 9/11. And of course, Israel deserved the massacre of 10/7. That's been building. You know, when I was on Jesse's show back in early May, I said the Democratic Party we're heading for an orgy of socialism. And now look, and here we are for these things. So these very specific kinds of candidates, you know, these aren't my smears. These are using their own words and their.
Oh man, this is a crazy one, fam. Sorry. This is a crazy one. We gotta go back. The orgy.
Democratic Party we're the show back in early May. I said the Democratic Party we're heading for an orgy of socialism. And now
even he laughed.
And
yeah.
Here we are for these things. So these very specific.
You think he's pretending? No, that's rude to imply, right? Like that's rude to imply. Some of you will say it's more than rude to imply. But do you think he's like pretending? Do you think he's pretending to like have brain damage as like a bit that's going too far, like as some kind of ploy for attention? Because he laughed at that one, like he broke character. Like they do an SNL all the time.
Said the Democratic Party we're heading for an orgy of socialism. And now look, and here we are for these things. So
people, that's a good
these
bit.
Very
no,
specific kinds
it's
of
really
candidates,
problematic.
You know, these aren't my smears. These are using their own words and their own views and their tweets and the things that they've said and the way they've behaved. And then, of course, you have the king of the dirtbags of P. Hustle up in Maine, you know, roughing up ex-girlfriends and spend a decade on the.
Sorry, what? Pete Hustle? Did he just call Graham Plattner P? P Hustle. Oh. Is that like from his freaking 'cause I do not keep up with Graham Plattner and the various scandals that people like are always up with him on. Like we've talked about the Nazi tattoo. We've talked about like him covering up the Nazi tattoo. And, you know, I've made my like positions clear about like veterans in general and stuff like that. But I don't keep up with like his Reddit account and stuff like that. Was that like his Reddit account's name? P Hustle?
Words and their own views and their tweets and the things that they've said and the way they've behaved. And then, of course, you have the king of the dirt bags of P Hustle up in Maine.
Yeah, you should you should call him by his normal name
and spend a decade on the social media called Kick. That's been described as the predator's paradise for why people are on that kinds of platforms. So, as a Democrat, it's entirely appropriate to just call that out. I'm always happy to be on your show. You're not going to see me criticize or go after. We have some great candidates like Ossoff, Brown, and you have Tallarico. He's a nice guy, no matter what anybody would say thing. And of course, Roy Cooper in North Carolina,
Senator.
So these are normal Democrats. I don't know why we have other Democrats, even people that are calling for their jobs in leadership, saying you're next. Why can't you just push back and say these are abhorrent beliefs? Communism, socialism. And now for me, what my real concern is, the Democratic Party is going to put it into the platform, is an anti-Israel party, that Israel does not have the right to defend itself and to exist.
Always about
and
Israel.
The second that becomes a formal part of our platform, and that's the one thing that would push me out of this party, because I'm deeply
the one thing that would push him out of this party. So the way he describes it, Graham Plattner is beating women, all of these communists are entering the party. That's all fine. All of that stuff is fine, actually, to him. He believes it and it's fine. But if they are like anti-Israel, he will leave the party. I mean, come on now. Like, what do we even say about this kind of thing anymore? How can he even get on television? Like, how do we have a society where he can get on television and accuse anybody of being unfit for office for any reason? Because ultimately the question just becomes like, but bro, are you fit for office? Like, because even people who I don't agree with politically, I can say whether or not I think they have like the mental capacity to operate a motor vehicle, right? Like, I don't think that Sean Hannity shouldn't be allowed to drive, right? I don't think that John Fetterman should be allowed to drive. I don't think that John Fetterman should be allowed to, like, I don't know, do a lot of things that you need to be like cognitively fully there for. And I don't even mean that as like a joke. I mean it meanly, but I don't mean it as like a joke, because there doesn't seem to be enough self-awareness to operate a motor vehicle. And so the fact that he has the gall to get on television and talk about someone being unfit for their ideas, it's like, come on. Well, I mean, at least their ideas are like fully formed, right? At least they're like actual ideas and not what I can only imagine are a series of like crayon-esque drawings in their head at this point. Like, it just seems, we just need a fitness test for office. I don't know how we do that, but like, we just need to have something for office.
Alarmed the way the Democratic Party is going after Israel and allowing to just rank anti-Semitism to flourish, in the left on the campuses as well too.
Yeah,
Tallarico may be a nice guy. If you know what the 6 genders that he's referring to is, I really appreciate you educating us, because I don't know what they are. Or God being non-binary, I'm not sure what he meant there either.
I don't understand why they harp on that last part. Like, the whole like 6 genders thing, that's their bread and butter. But do they think that God has like a dick and balls? Like, I heard them talking about this weeks ago, but like, if you believe in a God, certainly you don't believe that like God has like a dick and balls, or like you or I, right? Isn't he like a ball of light or something like that? Like, like, you think that you go up to God and you can like look under, well, I don't know, his toga or throne or whatever they like, that kind of robe that they would be wearing in heaven, and be like, yeah, like God has like a huge one. Like, I don't like get that, right? Honestly, I kind of prefer if God's a lady, because then when you staring at him like all the time, isn't it a little like, I don't know, isn't it a little zesty to be like bowing down before a man like constantly? You're going to be seeing his hog through that robe like whenever it flops open. I'm not about that. I'm just gonna put that out there. But Christians like a lot of stuff. They're always snake handling, if you know what I mean.
He seems.
Yeah, Sean, I don't agree with all those views either. Again,
I thought you were a Democrat. See, I was wondering how he was going to answer that question. Like, joking about God's dick aside, I was wondering how he was going to answer that question, because he's always harping on about how he'd make a bad Republican because he's all in favor of that LGBTQ stuff. So I was wondering if he was going to push back on that, because, like, that's the prime way in which he could differentiate himself from the Republicans on these platforms, by going like, I just don't agree with you on that stuff, Sean. I think we need to support Israel, but Israel's also like a pro LGBTQ country. But you know what I mean, like something like that. But of course, he just completely capitulates on that the moment he brings it up. Like, yeah, I don't agree that there's 6 genders or that crazy LGBTQ stuff. It's like, okay, brother, okay, whatever you say.
I'm not saying, but I'm saying, I think we can all agree.
Of course not. I'd never say something like that to you, Sean.
He has a little Plattner energy.
Paxton has a little Plattner energy.
I work with John Cornyn. He is a rock-ribbed conservative. He has actual respect across the aisle. So now Texas picked, Paxton. But for me,
let me ask you the big question. The big question to me is, the leaders of your party, the Chuck Schumers, the Hakeem Jeffries, why are they so fearful to speak out and take on these radical views that the Democratic Party never supported before? I can't believe that hardworking, blue-collar Democrats and Republicans in Pennsylvania support any of this madness. I don't believe that for a second.
What I'm saying is, like, as a Democrat, I will absolutely call this out who they are. I would never pretend to say anything good about any of this new crop of people that are coming into Congress.
Play them off.
I refuse to do that. Why can't you just say that? Every time you tell voters to say, "Oh, it's okay," no problem here, no problem here. People know they have eyes, they have ears. They're appalled by it too. Across people, then you lose your credibility.
Yeah.
That's the way every Democrat should. We should police our own ranks right now and say, look, this is not a big tent kind of situation. These are people that have intensely extreme anti-American kinds of
and anti-Israel, right?
And now you've seen the new polls. 45% of Democrats are only proud to be American. I think
it's
that's
actually less than that. I know.
It's less than that, Senator Oger.
I have to let you go, but I will say this.
Honestly.
What I will say is that you are the only voice of reason in your party right now that I see. You really are, and
they're desynced.
Well, I'm saying it's like if less than 45% of Democrats are even proud to be an American, and I'm insanely proud and grateful to be American. If
only in America can I be a member of government.
That's why
it'd be illegal in France.
People that are an avowed communist and have deeply anti-views.
Anti-views.
That's distressing to me as a
Senator,
Democrat.
I gotta roll. We appreciate you being with us, Senator John Fetterman. All right, thanks for watching. Check out my new podcast.
Damn. You really couldn't have just let that play out? Crazy stuff. I didn't realize they would run up against the clock like that. Gotta roll, Senator. Yeah, when the guy on the pier won't let you just give him the change and move. That was something else. Another terrible interview for John Fetterman on Fox News. But they love him there. They love having him there.